Planning your worksheet or workbook. While some people are super organized from the start, many of us need to take a moment or two, or even 10 or 15, to begin to figure out how to lay out their worksheets in terms of what makes the most sense from a logical viewpoint. Like data should usually be grouped together, and you probably don't want to squeeze the worksheet contents so closely together that it's difficult to differentiate the contents of one cell from another, although I'll show you how to make adjustments for that in another chapter. At this stage, it's often when you can really benefit from seeing other example worksheets, such as I suggested in the second chapter when we discussed ways to increase your Excel aptitude. So ask coworkers and colleagues and friends and even family members who use Excel for example worksheets that they set up to see what they've done and to try to get an idea. For example, I'm going to show you 3 different examples here. This is a list inventory that we'll be working with later. This is the start of a library fund for a library access project fund, and 3-year sales, just to give you an idea of how 3 different worksheets look in Excel. And once you start to look at these different examples, it often can make more sense to you if it doesn't in the beginning exactly how you should begin to lay out your worksheet with like information stored together. But you probably want to ask yourself some questions at this stage while you consider how to mentally draft the overall layout of your worksheet. For example, do I need to spread out my information among various worksheets? Remember, you have at least 3 with the default workbook, or just 1? And if you do want to use 2 or 3 sheets in a workbook, how do you divide up your information? What information will need to be repeated on every sheet, if any? So you'll need to consider that. You also should be asking yourself, what's the smartest way to organize my different categories? And usually the clearest and most direct way of presentation is the best. But begin thinking about that.